Hello everyone, my name is Mudit Pandey and I am the co-founder of My Admission Card and president of सेवी फाउंडेशन। जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि हम हर बार कोई ना कोई विदेशी यूनिवर्सिटी आपके लिए लेके आते हैं जो आपको इनलाइटन कर सके और आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन दे सके ताकि आप एक शिक्षित और सही डिसीजन ले सके स्टडी अब्रॉड के लिए। सो आई एम ग्लैड टू हैव टू गेस्ट टुडे हियर टुडे। थैंक यू सर फ्रॉम द शिलर यूनिवर्सिटी, मैडम एंड सर। कैन यू जस्ट इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ सर?
Yeah, I'm Alba Luque. I'm the Corporate Communications Project Manager of Schiller International University. I'm based in Madrid, in our Madrid campus.
Okay.
Come from there.
Hi, I'm Nitya Nagaich. I'm head of India for GEDU. GEDU is a large education organization which helps students get multiple options to study abroad, Schiller being one of them.
Okay. So I'll then first ask you about GEDU and then I'll move to Schiller University. So which all countries does GEDU give services to student for?
Many actually. We've got umpteen number of campuses starting from Dubai, Malta, US, Germany, France, Spain, Australia, to name a few. And the list is very expanding. We are a very agile group, so whatever I tell you today might not be true in another 3 months. But to begin with, this is
so it's a growing organization where you give multiple options to students to study. So what about Schiller University? Can you just enlighten us about the location of the Schiller University?
Yeah, sure. So we are an American university. We have a campus. We have 4 campuses actually. One in Tampa, in the state of Florida, in the US, and then 3 in Europe. One in Madrid, capital city of Spain, right? That's where I'm coming from. Another one in Paris, and another one in Heidelberg. Just to give you a bit of information about Schiller, we are an American university following US curriculum, but mostly, as I said, based, in Europe, in these European countries.
So the degree awarded by Schiller University USA in all these campuses that you have in Spain?
Yes, we award an US degree, right? We are accredited by ACCSC, that's our accreditor in America. But we do also have agreements with 2 institutions. One is the University of Roehampton in the UK, another one Dublin Business School in Ireland, right?
Those are the top institutions.
With them, we do dual degrees. So our students, they can decide if they want to just study with Schiller or if they want to do a dual degree. So that way, if they do, they get an American degree by Schiller and a European one by our partners institutions.
Okay, so a student get an option to study a portion of is it there? Is it available to study a portion of their course in Spain and a portion in some other campus of yours? Or
that's one of our main key features. So because we have 4 campuses, we allow, we do inter-campus mobility, right? So students, they can start in one campus and then next year they can move to a second one. So let's say that one starts in Heidelberg and then they decide they want to go to explore Spain, so they can go to Madrid, and then they want to go to the US, right? So they can they can move to all the campuses.
Okay. So currently, which campus is most populated by the Asian student? To which is the most popular campus out of these, where most of the Asian students go?
That's a tough question because we're very international. We have people from all over the world. One thing that is really true, authentic from ourselves, it's how international we are. We have people from all over the world. I would say perhaps Heidelberg could be one of the most. But as I said, numbers we have people from different countries, from Africa, all over the African continent, right? And the European continent, same as Asia. So, and obviously the Americas, right?
So it's a student get experience of multicultural.
Yes, that's the key point that we have. Apart from our methodology, that I hope we get a chance to talk about it for a little bit, is the fact that it's a very multicultural environment. It's not just that the student, so it's this mindset of you do the US curriculum, right? If you're an undergrad, it's 2 years general education plus 2 year knowledge area courses. You can do that in Heidelberg, while everything is taught in English, right? We're an American university, but you can also learn the local language. We provide courses, local language courses, but you get, the sense not only of this American environment, but of the cultural environment of the city, country you're living at, as well as of all the other cultures that you coexist, you live together from your peers, the other students from all over the world, as I mentioned, as well as from your professors who are also very international.
Yeah, that's true. So multicultural environment का मतलब होता है कि आप दूसरे देश के बच्चों के साथ पढ़ रहे हैं और इसका सबसे ज़्यादा फ़ायदा तब आपको होता है जब आप कहीं बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं तो आपको उनके कल्चर और उनके बिजनेस एथिक्स के बारे में पता हो। सो टॉकिंग अबाउट मोर अबाउट Schiller University, what sort of a courses do you offer in terms of undergrad and postgrad both? Can you just enlighten us, any one of you?
Let Alba
Yeah,
take
you
that.
let me. Yes, of course. We have like 3 main areas, right? So the business area courses, STEM, and international relations. So for the business area courses, we all for bachelor and masters, right? So for the business, we do have bachelor on international business, bachelor on international marketing as well, same as MBA on international business as well. And then we do have the Master on Sustainability,
Okay.
which we do have it in partnership with UNITAR, the United Nations Research Training Institute for Research. So in which our students, they get to do, to have professors from the UN teaching in the classroom, and then they get the opportunity to go and graduate there in Geneva and do a fellowship there as well, and be option to do an internship as well. We have this partnership with UNITAR for the Master in Sustainability as well as our Master in International Relations and Diplomacy, which is huge as well.
Okay.
We offer as well the Bachelor on International Relations and Diplomacy. We do have Bachelors on International Hospitality and Tourism Management, and then Bachelors on Computer Science, Applied Mathematics and Artificial Intelligence, and Business Analytics. And then I think I'm missing a Master on Digital Marketing.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a broad spectrum. I think I mentioned
all.
all the degrees that we have, but yeah, these are the 3 areas. Yeah.
Essentially, all the popular courses in demand are something that Schiller is poised to offer to you.
Okay.
The big focus at Schiller is employment,
Okay.
employability, right? So we focus a lot on that, and hence the choice of courses which are the demand of the market today.
Okay, okay, that's great. So, what is the general eligibility criteria in order to gain admission in your undergrad and postgrad?
I mean, obviously, you need to know English, right?
Okay.
Improve of English level.
So, what's that? Like, I mean to say, if you need an IELTS, what score are you looking for? Both
I believe, I
undergrad
don't know
and
how
postgrad.
you
No, I
have,
can
right?
take that.
Yeah, you have.
You know, so we are looking at an overall IELTS of 6.0
Okay.
or equivalent. When I say IELTS, I'm not promoting
Yeah, I got
IELTS.
it. Or
You know, we
equivalent.
accept multiple
PT, Duolingo,
exams,
Yeah.
PT,
TOEFL.
Duolingo, TOEFL, and very interestingly, we also accept medium of instruction waivers.
Okay, MOI.
MOI waivers, provided you have studied from a national board like a CBSE and an ICSE, or an international board like an international baccalaureate.
Okay.
And certain state boards as well, but not all of them.
Not all of them.
Okay, where you know we understand that English is being used in state boards as well. We would happily accept those MOIs. That said, our MBAs in particular require 6.5 because, as you can imagine, it's
Yes, obviously
it's
you
a
need to-
master's course which require a lot of communication. It becomes imperative to have that level of English proficiency. But talking of requirements, it's not just limited to English. We look at certain academic, entry barriers
Yes.
or entry requirements, I should say rather. And at the same time, we have some very liberal policies around where you have spent your years, as long as you can justify those gaps with a proper reasoning, whether you were preparing for an exam or you were working somewhere which gives you a nice experience. I think in our master's program we can entertain pretty much all level of students.
Okay. So for the waiver of English that you said on the basis of MOI, is there a minimum criteria of percentage also for bachelor's and master's?
Honestly, no. Because GEDU as a group believes in making education accessible.
Okay.
As long as you are taught and examined in English, and your education institute can write it and give it to us, we would take it on the face of it. That said, at Schiller, we have a lovely discussion between our admission staff and the student, so that we understand two things. One, their proficiency in English, because getting marks is one thing,
Yeah.
but actually exhibiting
Yeah, that's
that
true.
level of
Expressing.
communication skill, whether it's listening, speaking, writing, they're all different set
Yeah.
of things, right? At the same time, what's very important for, I think, Schiller, and should be for any university, is the fact that how motivated the student is about studying the subject and at the campus that they have chosen, right? So we would like to understand what's their understanding about why this course, why this campus, what are they going to do to sustain themselves during the course, and what do they plan to do after they have graduated, right?
Okay.
So some very basic questions. I'm telling this because...
So is it like interview or
No, so that's why I said a discussion and not an interview.
Because in interview, students become a lot nervous. So that's the reason.
And they don't have to, you know. So you got to think about it like this: you're going to a foreign land. You're going to study with very different people from different cultures, and your lingua franca, which for the benefit of the audience, I would say is the common language that you use. You know, that's lingua franca, is going to be English. So if you struggle in English at the moment, I'm sure you are setting up yourself up for a failure.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So less of an interview, but more of a discussion. And it's not just for us, I think it's also for the student to make a wise decision. What's really important here for the students to know is our commitment towards their success, and because of which none of the programs at GEDU we charge an application fees or any kind of deposit.
That's great.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying, you know, it's in mutual interest that we do these discussions so that the student is very sure that this is the place for them. And once they decide, then only they make even a single penny of investment towards us.
That's true.
So we show our commitment like this.
Okay. So moving forward from eligibility criteria, what is the general academic fees for Schiller University? A general idea. I know it's hard to tell about all the courses, but just a general idea.
Yeah, they vary. So for bachelor's is around 15,000 euros a year.
Is a year.
A year, yeah, a year. Postgrads 17. More or less. It depends. Our postgrads are regularly 12 months.
Okay.
So, you know, the masters are 12 months. We have one.
And the bachelor is 4 years.
4 years, yeah. Bachelor's is 4 years because of what I mentioned before, the 2 years of general education plus the 2 years of knowledge area courses.
So again, a very important question, because in India, it's a price sensitive market.
Yes.
And the second thing is they look for ROI, which is not the right word when it comes to education, but they do look for ROI. Mm-hmm. So what are the scholarship criteria? Is there any scholarship, number one? And if there is a scholarship, how much is it? Mm-hmm. And what are the criteria for the scholarship?
Yes.
Actually, that's a very good question. And I think we are very unique. And I'm so happy that you use that word called ROI.
Yeah, that's a wrong word, but unfortunately in Indian market, they treat it as a commodity, which is not right. Knowledge can't be a commodity, but they treat it as a commodity.
But then I still think of it from an ROI perspective, because if you go by the data that I have, 87% of Indian students take some sort of an education loan or education
they are dependent on
that. So it has to be ROI driven. If your return on the money that you have put in, you've borrowed from a bank and you've borrowed, let's say, at 8% interest, and you are not able to return the principal with the 8% interest on it, I think that's a negative investment you have done, right? But I still appreciate your point. It's not a commodity, but I'm strictly thinking from what's gone in and what's coming out, right? So I'm happy to take it like that. Back to your question, scholarship. I think we are the only group out there which offers scholarship not just for the first year, which I think everybody does, right? We are somebody who put decent amount of scholarship on the table for the students to pick up and take them to the subsequent years as well. Okay. So first, there are three kinds of scholarships. The first one is the upfront scholarship, which everybody does. We do anywhere from 25 to 35% on the upfront scholarship, which is your year one scholarship, the year that you're getting into one of our programs at one of our universities, at one of our campuses. Okay. The second kind of scholarship is very unique to us, which we call the merit-based scholarship. And ironically, my friend, this scholarship is more than the first year scholarship, which is actually unheard of in the industry. So we give up to 50% scholarship in your subsequent years.
Okay.
But the only condition there is you have to actually go and earn it.
Okay. So you have to maintain.
It's an academic scholarship. It's
Yeah,
based on
academic.
academic performance.
Okay.
Obviously, we're an university, right? So
Which
it's
is
based on
right,
academic
which is right.
performance.
Yeah, because if you came to educate yourself and if you can prove yourself, just earn it.
That's
Simple.
basically is
Yeah.
what you're here for. Yeah.
So if you're a student who gets a distinction, there's a no question asked 50% scholarship in your subsequent year.
Subsequent year. That's
So
great.
let's say you got a distinction in year 1, you're eligible for a 50% scholarship in
For
year
second.
2. Let's say you got a distinction in year 2 as well, it's a 50% scholarship
For
in year
third.
3 and henceforth, right? So that's our academic merit scholarship. The third one, which is again unique but quite interesting, is that GEDU as a group offers you progression from one campus to another, and we offer you something called the alumni scholarship.
Okay. Alumni
Okay,
scholarship.
since we have umpteen number of programs, umpteen number of universities, colleges and campuses, if you move from one campus to another, you are eligible for an alumni scholarship, which is another 50% of your first term of tuition fee, and then the merit scholarship can kick in,
Okay.
depending on
Let me just clarify on that, because Schiller has 4 campuses. So he means you graduate from one campus from another part of the group, right? From another of the brands of the group has. You're an alumni from another group, and then you go to Schiller, for instance, or you're an alumni of the
Okay.
group. So then it's not that you go from one Schiller campus to the other one and you're an alumni. I just wanted to
Yeah,
make
that's
that
fine.
clarification
So within that
in case
GEDU
wasn't
umbrella, if you move from one to another, then you get those scholarships.
So let's say you went to Dubai. Okay, at Dubai, what we do are HND programs. It's not a complete graduation.
Yeah,
It's a smarter way of graduating. You went to Dubai, you did your first 2 years of HND, earning you a world-recognized diploma. And then you said, I want to go to Schiller because Heidelberg in Germany is an amazing place to be at, right? In the third year, you're going to earn yourself an alumni scholarship. Okay.
Of 50%.
Now, after 4 years, you've completed your HND plus your degree from Schiller, and now you say, you know what, I want to do my master's as well. And then you chose, let's say, ICN, which is one of our latest addition to the family. And ICN is a triple accredited business school. It has campuses at 2 places in France, Paris and Nancy, and then an amazing campus just that has come up in Berlin.
Okay.
So you say, I want to do my master's from ICN. Now, since they both, Schiller
within the
as
same
well as
umbrella.
ICN are part of GEDU, you're going to be eligible for a 50% scholarship
That's great.
for your master's. And then who knows, this kid says, you know what, I want to do my PhD as well. And they look up to EMA, where we offer you PhD as well as DBA options. You're going to get another 50%
DBA
scholarship.
is becoming popular now.
It's becoming extremely popular. You're right.
So just to add on to your point, the best part of getting these scholarship, because a lot of students who goes abroad, they focus more on working, just because to earn money to survive. But if you already giving them enough scholarship, so in a way you are giving them money to survive there, and they don't have to work. They can concentrate on their studies. So this must help a student.
I'm extremely happy that you have brought it up like this, because I did my math. And if a student, and I would really like the students to understand this through your channel, is that if you were to legitimately work under the student hours, it would take you easily anywhere from 5 to 6 months to earn this 50% of scholarship that we put on the table for you lovely people to come and grab.
So I'll just add on to what you have said, sir, a personal experience of mine. So I'm a Birmingham City University graduate. So when I went to UK, there was I was studying, but at the same time I was working. So I started earning. So being at the age of just 23, 24, so when you start earning, the hunger goes on of earning more and more. And I started skipping my classes and working more. And unfortunately, I plugged in strategic management. So when I got plugged, they called me up and they said, look, as a UK rule, you have plugged, you have to go back. And I started crying. So my teacher, Shiv Chaudhary, was there. He calculated the number of hours of study divided by my tuition fees. And he said, look, every hour of class that you're missing 11 pounds. And you're earning only £6 an hour. So ultimately, you're losing £5 plus knowledge. that you would
Yeah.
have gained.
And your career.
This is a great option if you're giving 50% scholarship.
Yes.
Student
Yes.
can just go on and
So
focus on
for
their
us,
studies.
it's not scholarship for year one.
Yeah.
It's not
It's a-
your
it's
tuition
a-
fee. I would like to term it as the total cost of
Of his-
graduation
Yeah, of graduation.
or the total cost of masters. You know, howsoever you want to put it, I think students today need to be smart, need to look at beyond first year to understand what's the total cost of your degree, diploma, and how you can get it in the most cost efficient way. And being the most knowledgeable yourself. Because these 3 years or 4 years that you're going to study today are going to define your next 30 and 40.
If I may pick up as well what you were mentioning about, finding a job while you're, studying as well, because of what Nitya mentioned before, we're very much focused on employability. So that way also is how we adapt our courses and our methodology, teaching methodology, right? We follow challenge-based learning methodology, which is based on experiential learning. So we have a lot of partnerships with companies who come, teach in the classroom. As I said, our professors are practitioners, so, very much immersed in the industry, so they can start the networking. We do challenges with companies, so they come and they present, hey, we did one with EY, Ernst & Young, right? The consultancy. They wanted to have a banking solution for the young generation, right? Gen Z. So our students from all campuses came together in groups, trying to solve the problem for EY. Eventually, companies may implement those solutions that our students are given. So I'm saying all this and this example because we, in our immersive learning methodology for our undergraduates, what we do is they have 2 days of classes a week, right? And then 3 hours per course, 2 courses a day, so 6 hours of class during 2 days, so 12 hours in total, right?
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday, let's say. And then the other 3 days, they can either use them for the personal professional growth. They could have a part-time job, internships that they have, they can work in that time, or do all the activities that we do on campus and outside campus.
Okay.
These challenges that I'm talking about, workshops. I mean, we do have in our campuses employability advisors, right? That help you with your CV, job interview simulations, right? That you want to go and they help you prepare for the job interview. We have this program, extracurricular, named the Global Employability Path, right? In which our students, they follow workshops, challenges, simulations, active training that we have with IBM Skills Build. I mean, we have a lot of partnerships. I'm just giving you a lot of information, but it's just for you to understand that we have all this framework. We provide the tools to the students for them to gain, all these skills, because, knowledge is basic, right? But skills are key to succeed, right? So we provide them with those tools, with those skills. So then when they decide they want to go to the job market, either year 1, year 3, year 4, as master's students, they are prepared. Same for our master's students, just to put also focus there. The classes, they take them 1 course per month, so 1 subject, 1 course every month. Yeah. They have 3 hours, 4 days, Mondays to Thursdays. At night, in the evening, 6 to 9. That way they can work because our master students, more proficient, most of them work, right? And they're workers. So that way we accommodate and enhance this enter of our students into the job market and succeed. We always said we want, we prepare the future leaders, personally and professionally, right, of the world. We are, and this is a message I want to share to as well, to the students. If you're someone who challenge yourself and who challenge, the status quo of the world, Schiller is your place to go. If you're international, you are open-minded, and we are this university. It's not this huge, big campus university. We have state, city, center university campuses, where our students, they experience what I was mentioning before in the classroom, but education, learning goes beyond the classroom. That's why we do all these activities with partner companies. That's why we are based on the center of each city, because we are surrounded by, Madrid campus right in front of the National Library, all the museums. All the activities that they do, that they can live the full experience of being in another country and get immersed into these other cultures as well.
Okay, great. So after listening a lot about Schiller University, before we move toward the end of the episode, a lot of parents do want to know about 3 things. Anyone you can pick the question. Number 1 is the safety in those campuses and outside the campuses both. Number 2 is the accommodation facilities available. Is it available inside the campus, or do you help to give the accommodation outside the campus? And third is, what about the fooding availability? Is the local food available or not? So these are the very important questions. Then that normally comes from the parents to us. So any one of you can pick and answer that.
I'll pick up the first two, and then the local stuff. I think Alba would be the best person to answer. Security, and when I say security, I'm talking about across GEDU.
Yeah.
Right? And what we have to offer to you, especially for those who are, I don't mean to say others won't be concerned, but then there are certain parents, certain students who really are concerned and want a soft launching pad as
Especially for undergrad.
For undergrad, exactly.
Undergrad is fine. Undergrad is something that
precisely. I can't agree more. And what we have to offer you is a place in the safest place for the student to study at, right? And it's not me who's saying it. No prizes for guessing. It's Dubai.
Yes, Dubai, one of the safest ones.
I read this tweet from the Sheikh which said, if you are a female and at 2 a.m. at night, you're outside a club and you're feeling safe, it means you are in Dubai.
Yeah.
Right? So we offer you something like that. But then all of our campuses, as Alba was talking about, they are city campuses.
Okay.
They are not something which is 40 kilometers off the city, somewhere outside, in some countryside. No. We are in the heart of the city, invariably wherever we are. So safety, as you can imagine, when you are in the city, in the heart of the buzz, it ought to be safe, right? But add to it, all of our campuses offer you student support services. So you always have advice from local people from the day that you are there. So you can know the pros and cons of choosing something over the other. Okay? So that is a bit about security. I don't know if there are very specific questions that we can get into it.
That is fine. But this is something I always used to say to parents, like, look, if you can send your student to, obviously your daughter or son to study in places like Mumbai, Delhi or Bangalore, then abroad is far more safer than that. You don't have to worry.
Everywhere that we are is definitely more safer than some of the cities.
So this is something I quote normally too.
True, and I completely agree to it. That said, the other question you had was on accommodation.
The accommodation, which is very important part.
Yes.
Extremely
important.
important.
Schiller University's accommodation facility, is it available in campus? If yes, then fine. If not, how do you help it?
So, Schiller, I think we have accommodation available at our Heidelberg campus, which is in partnership but very close to
that's fine.
the campus.
Sorry for interrupting, but I think because we're city-centered, right? Universities, buildings. We don't. This is important. So the first question, just to be plain and clear, we're not a big university with our, own accommodation on campus, no, because that's not feasible. And we're in the city center, you cannot have it because it's, the campus are not like that. But we do have, as Nitya was mentioning, for instance, in Heidelberg, we have a partnership with one.
So the basic question was, do you only help them to get the accommodation, or they have to?
No, we do.
Look at the third part.
No, we do.
That's what
we have an in-house team of specialists
so this
who
is what
spend
parents want to
5 to 7 years just doing accommodation with some, other specialized accommodation providers. What we did as GEDU, because we realized student satisfaction is paramount, we hired some intelligent people.
So this is for the whole group. If students come to a GEDU, so they'll help for the accommodation. Okay.
Pretty much. And Schiller is part of that.
Okay, great. So one last question, as I said.
About the food, right? About the food, yeah.
So is the Indian food or the Asian food available within the region?
Yes, I will say yes. When I came here a week ago, 5 days ago, now Nitya asked me, like, have you tried Indian food? I was like, come on. Or not, right? Like in Spain, I have in Madrid, my favorite Indian restaurants that I go to. Yeah, I can talk mostly because the most I know is Madrid. There is a big Indian community with a lot of Indian restaurants. So yeah, it's available. And in the other campuses as well. So
the Indian food is available.
Yes, it's available. One anecdote. thing. As well, our students, they do these international days in which they cook the local food.
Okay.
So that way they can also,
That's great.
cook their own food and share it so they can try food from other students. So I'm
It
saying,
helps them to interact and know each
Yes.
other also.
yes,
apart
because
from
it's,
just
it's
food.
yes,
Yeah.
that's
Food
the
makes friendship.
foods, yes, yes.
Anytime.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how I like to put it. I mean, the Indian cuisine
Yeah.
is so good that the world can't anymore live without a butter chicken or a dal makhani
Yeah.
or a naan, right?
Yeah.
So anywhere you go, and I've traveled extensively, you would find a decent Indian restaurant
Yes.
and Indian Asian cuisine be part of that culture invariably.
So basically that's all from my side, and thanks a lot for sharing all the information regarding the Schiller University and the GEDU as a group. But as our protocol, before we finish our episode, we would like to have one message from you to the students, or one tip who's looking forward to study abroad, and same goes for you.
Okay.
One very important message or a tip or something from your experience to the student who is looking forward to study abroad.
I think my word of advice to our lovely students out there is to be smart about what you choose. Do not follow what others are doing without understanding your needs, your resources, and your goals. I think it's critical because, I mean, I meet hundreds and thousands of students, and when I ask them why this, I don't get very logical answers. What I get is because somebody I know did this and got that.
Yeah.
And that somebody definitely is not you. So you got to have your own reasons and not chase somebody else's goals, somebody else's dream. Be unique. And GEDU as a group, I think, has a lot of answers to what you're looking for. So we'll be more than happy to connect at one of the multiple platforms that are there. And I just want to say that be unique and know yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, so picking up from this uniqueness that Nitya was mentioning, I think, as I mentioned before, if you're someone who questions yourself, the status quo, who think, outside the box, who are culturally savvy, and want to know more about other cultures. It's not about just going abroad, anyone can travel, but really acquiring this knowledge, you need to be in the right framework. And Schiller is your place if you're this kind of person who questions things, who questions yourself, and who wants to make a change, and who wants to be a future leader of the world of tomorrow.
Thank you. So thanks a lot to both of you for coming into our show and
Thank you very
sharing
much
being
for having
insightful
us.
with
Thank
these
you for
students.
having us. Pleasure.
Thank you.
दोस्तों, My Admission Card हमारे GEDU products को लेके आपके सामने आ रहा है in Varanasi and Prayagraj on 18th and 20th of April respectively. हम लोग बहुत ही ज़्यादा उत्साहित हैं आप लोगों से बात करने के लिए, आपके क्वेश्चंस का आंसर देने के लिए. सो प्लीज़ ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अपने फ्रेंड्स, अपने पेरेंट्स, अपने कॉलीग्स के साथ हम लोग को मिलिए वाराणसी और प्रयागराज में 18th and 20th of April. Thank you.